Hello and welcome everybody to the English grammar lesson level advance. This is a grammar lesson, so I will try to speak in English as much as possible. But please remember, this is an open lesson, so if you don't understand a word, a phrase, or you want me to translate, please just stop me and I will be happy to go back. If you will like today's lesson, don't forget to log in next Thursday at 11 o'clock. But before that, visit our website teledon.online, where you can find past online meetings and upcoming online meetings. You need to become a guest of our educational website, and after that you can get recordings of past lessons and all the material that we will use today and we used on previous lessons. So please visit our website, or you can find us on Facebook as well. Good. So let's start this lesson with the warm-up exercise. And the topic is preposition of location or place. So let's start with the number 1. Bye, I'll see you. And the correct answer is on Friday morning, or you can just leave the preposition out and just say, bye, I'll see you Friday morning. I'm going away at the end of January. Remember, we always use the phrase at the end of some time period. Good. Number 3, we were in Italy. We spent a few days in Venice. We use preposition in with geographical places or areas. Number 4, our apartment is on the second floor. On the second floor. Number 5, I saw Stephen at a conference on Saturday. We use preposition at if we don't know the exact place when the person is, so we use at a conference, so that's a general statement. Number 6, when did they arrive at the hotel? Or you can use a phrasal verb get to. So number 6, when did they arrive at or get to the hotel? Number 7, I'm going on holiday next week. I'll be away for 2 weeks on holiday. Number 8, we traveled on the 6:45 train, which arrived at 8:30. We cannot use preposition by or the option the because we have no definite article. The 6:45 train, that's a name of that train. So on the. And the last one, have you read anything by Ernest Hemingway? Note what sort of books did he write. So that was the warm-up exercise, and let's jump on today's topic, which is linking verbs. Specifically, we will talk today about words unless, as long as, and provided. If you ever wondered or struggle how to join 2 sentences or 2 ideas, and you don't know how to express condition, this is a good lesson to learn how to join sentences or express condition. So these are the most common linking words to express condition. We call them as well conjunctions, but you can use linking words if it's easier to pronounce for you. I'm sure you all heard of a word if. That's the most common and most used linking word, if. So let's study the given sentences. More people will buy it if we reduce the price. So in this sentence, we are joining two information. More people will buy it, and the second is if we reduce the price. You can hear many times in English that we talk about a clause. A clause is a sentence. So in this case, we have two clauses. You can always switch the position of each clause and start with a linking word. So if we reduce the price, but we need to use the comma. So if we reduce the price, comma, more people will buy it. So one more time, we are joining a condition and its consequence. So the condition is, if we reduce the price, the consequence, what's going to happen after that, is more people will buy it. So today we will talk about linking words that are joining condition and its consequence, unless, as long as, and provided. So let's start with unless. I want you to read the translation and really understand the meaning of word unless. So we are joining condition and consequence. The easiest way to understand it is to study the example situation. The club is for members only. So we can say, you can't go in unless you are a member. We can always say unless is the same thing as except if. I want you to remember that. If you struggle how to use it or whether to use word unless, always remember the similar meaning to except if. So we could always say, you can't go in except if you are a member. Okay? One little rule is that after word unless, there is always positive verb. So you won't see a negative verb after unless. So let's study more examples of the word unless. I will see you tomorrow unless I have to work late. So the condition, I have to work less, and the consequence, I will see you tomorrow. So except if I have to work late, I will see you tomorrow. Number 2, there are no buses to the beach. Unless you have a car, it's difficult to get there. So in this sentence, you can see the other way to use it. So we start with unless, the condition, unless you have a car, it's difficult to get there. Please note that we use always positive verb after word unless. Let's study next example. Shall I tell Liz what happened? Not less, she asked you. Okay, we are using not unless. That's a new way to express it, but it means the same thing as only if she asks you. Let's look at the next example, which expresses the past actions. Sally hates to complain. She wouldn't complain about something unless it was really bad. Now I want you to remember, we can use word unless only if the action in past happened. So if it really took place in past, so it happened in past, only in this case we can use the word unless. Okay, so positive verb and always only if it happened. And last example, we can take a taxi to the restaurant unless you would prefer to work. So only on that condition, if you prefer to work, or we can take the taxi. Many times you can hear in spoken language, the use instead of unless, we can say if and negative. So in the sentence, unless we leave now, we will be late, you can always say, if we don't leave now, we will be late. Well, we are not using the word unless. Unless is a very good word to use in a semi-formal or formal spoken or written English. So it is a very suitable word to use it even in official emails or even in a conversation with your colleagues. So remember, unless gives us except if. Remember that, except if is unless. Let's move on to another group of linking words, and those are as long as, provided, and so on. This group of linking words show us that the condition must be fulfilled. So what does it mean? Let's study the first example. You can borrow my car as long as you promise not to drive too fast. So, you must to promise me not to drive too fast. That's a condition that must be fulfilled, and then I can borrow you my car. We can always switch to using provided or providing. So for example, in the next example, traveling by car is convenient, providing that you have somewhere to park. So one more time. We must fulfill the condition. We have to have somewhere to park. Then the traveling by car is convenient. So it is a different to unless, because in an unless linking word, the condition doesn't have to be fulfilled. If using as long as or provided, the condition must be fulfilled. As long as and providing are more suitable to use in semi-formal and spoken English. Linking words as so long as or provided are more suitable for formal and therefore written English. So let's study more examples. Providing that the room is clean, I don't mind which hotel we stay at. So as well, we can start with a linking word, but don't forget to use the comma. So providing that the room is clean, comma, I don't mind which hotel we stay at. We could say, I don't mind which hotel we stay at, providing the room is clean. Please, if you have some question to this group of linking words, now it's the time to ask. Okay, so we have talked about unless and past. We said the action must happen in past or we cannot use unless. But what about the future? When you're talking about the future, do not use will or future tense with words as unless, as long as, so long as, and etc. Rather use present tenses. So you can use present simple, that is the best suitable, or present simple, or even present perfect. But it's better if you stick to present simple. So it will be incorrect if you said, I'm not going out unless it will stop raining. This is not correct. The correct way to say it is, I'm not going out unless it stops raining. So that's the present simple. The same as with providing, for example, providing the weather is good, we are going to have a picnic tomorrow. I know it can be tricky because we are talking about the past, but we already said that with providing, as long as, so long as, the condition must be fulfilled. So the weather must be good tomorrow. So we are going to have a picnic after that. Providing the weather is good, present simple, we are going to have a picnic tomorrow. So let's review what we already said on today's lesson. Remember that the meaning of a word unless is except if. So if you ever struggle whether to use or not to use unless, just switch it for except if. You can't go in except if you are a member. You can't go in unless you are a member. As well, remember that after word unless, we always use positive verb. Unless you are, never you aren't. And the second group of linking words we talk about is as long as, so long as, provided, providing that, means on condition that. So the condition must be fulfilled. The condition must happen. You can borrow my car if you promise not to drive too fast. You must promise not to drive too fast, and then I can borrow you my car. So you can borrow my car as long as you promise not to drive too fast. So that was the linking words explain. But please now let's join me to do some exercise and really master the linking words. You can find this quiz in the chat box, or you can do it with me. So let's start with the first set of exercises, and you need to use the linking words we've talked about today. So that's unless, as long as, providing, and etc. They're given in brackets to express the same idea as the original sentence containing if, but, or otherwise. So let's look at the first given sentence. If he gets his refund, he will drop his complaint. Let's use providing. Does anybody know the answer to the first question, or first sentence? Okay, I will do it myself, the first one. So we could say, providing he gets his refund, he will drop his complaint. We could always say he will drop his complaint providing he gets his refund. Is it clear? Is it understood? Okay, let's move on to the second sentence. If they reduce CO2 emissions, please, one more time, I haven't heard you. Okay,
they will be free from taxation as long as they reduce CO2 emissions.
Very good, very good. So they will be free from taxes, we can say, as long as they reduce the emissions. Okay, they must fulfill the condition, so they must reduce it, and then they will be free from taxation. So the condition must be fulfilled. Very good. What about next one? If you don't tell me the truth, I won't be able to help you.
I am not able to help you unless you don't tell me the truth.
Very good, very good. So okay, I'm not able, good. I'm not able, you said, to help you unless you tell me the truth. Remember, we always use positive verb after linking word unless.
Sorry, after I, there is missing the am, so I am. You just wrote I and continuing.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Oh.
I am not able to help you unless you tell me the truth. Or we could say, unless you tell me the truth, I won't be able to help you. The same meaning. What about next one? If you bring it by midday, I will lend you my car.
I will lend you my car as long as you bring it by midday.
Okay, very good. I will lend you my car as long as you bring it by midday. Very good. We can always substitute as long as by provided or providing is really the matter of your choice. Good. What about next one?
I don't want to go to the party unless you go.
Very good. I don't want the party unless, and then we need to use positive, unless you go. Very good. So that's the correct answer. Very good. And what about the last sentence? Today is public holiday. The doctor will see you only if it's an emergency. So the doctor
He's not going to see you unless it's an emergency.
Okay, think about the meaning. The doctor will see you only if it's an emergency, and we want to use unless. The doctor won't see you unless
it's an emergency.
It is an emergency. We know that, but after unless, we need to use positive verb. So to make it sensible, the sentence, we need to use negative verb in the first clause. Very good. That was a good exercise. What about next part of the exercise? You just need to choose the correct answer. So what about the first one?
Unless.
Okay, very good. I'm playing tennis tomorrow, except if or unless it rains. Correct. What about next one?
Providing.
Providing. I purposely put those two together so you can study the two almost similar sentences, but using different linking words. So, except if it rains, or providing it doesn't rain. So it has to doesn't rain so we can play the tennis. Good. What about next one? I don't mind if you come home late.
As long as you come quietly.
As long as you come quietly. Only if you come quietly. Very good. Children are allowed to play in the swimming pool.
Providing.
Providing or provided. Very good. The condition that there must be an adult must be fulfilled. So provided. Very good. What about next? Well, we can sit here in the corner. You would rather sit over there by the window.
As long as, I think.
Think about the meaning. We can sit here, except if you would rather sit over there by the window. So we don't have to fulfill the condition. There is another possibility, except if you don't want to do something else.
In this case, unless.
Unless, very good. So I know linking words can be tricky, but if you're not sure, it's good if you remember the meanings, except if for unless, or on condition that for providing or provided. So if it's difficult for you in a written English, just think about the meanings. So in this case, unless you would rather sit over there by the window. And let's do the last one sentence. So I don't watch TV.
As long as, in this case, I think.
Is it?
Unless.
So tell me, why do you think it's unless, or why do you think it's as long as? Could I say, does it make sense? I don't watch TV on condition that I've got nothing else to do, or it is better to say, I don't watch TV except if I've got nothing else to do.
Except, probably.
Very good. Except I have got nothing else to do, I don't watch TV. So I would today.
Why not? Sorry, can you go down?
Yes.
I watch TV unless I've got nothing else to do. For me, this is the correct sentence. So
Yes,
I am
it is.
watching. Yeah, but why there is the don't?
I don't watch TV unless.
This means that I am not watching TV when I have nothing else to do. So I am watching it only when I have to do something else.
This sentence means, unless I've got nothing else to do, I watch the TV. Because in a case I have something to do, I don't watch it. It means this way. If this is confusing, sorry to you, maybe this is not the best example. I shouldn't have used it. But in this case, in this sentence or this case, the unless linking word is better or the best suitable one. If we use as long as, I don't watch TV on condition on, we don't have to fulfill the situation that I have nothing else to do and then I watch TV. So therefore, the correct one is unless. I hope the rest of the examples were clear. If this one is not, sorry to you. Please, if you have more questions, now is the time to ask. Okay? If that's it, thank you very much for today's lesson. You were good students today. If you like today's lesson, don't forget to log in next Thursday. Before that, visit our website, become a guest of the educational website, and you could get all the past recordings of past lessons or online meetings that we already held. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. And Ściełka, you can stop the recording.